What have you done, Tom?
Well, some would say that I've wrecked a classic.
It's a big hole.
It is a big hole, but it's got to fit a big wheel. So we haven't wrecked a classic, we're making it better.
Making it faster.
Making it handle like it's on rails. Oh.
Do you know how to fill that hole?
Yeah.
Oh, good. At least one of us does. Welcome back to Backyard Builds. As you can see today, we're back at Tom's shed. Going to continue on with the ute. We haven't had any updates lately on the ute, just been busy with some other projects. Tom's been building a car trailer, I've been building a wagon, but
we're back here today.
We're back here, back on deck.
So we haven't had any updates, like Zach said. Progress has been slow. We actually sold that other ute that we picked up. It was in the previous episode, and that has paid for some parts that we've been waiting on. Like we said, we don't have a huge budget here, but we spent $2,300 on our rear suspension. So we're going to open that up today and show you what we've picked up and how it's going to work. And then we'll get into pulling the old stuff out and try and mock up this stuff.
So just before we kick off, just want to mention Car 35, Brett Abraham. So thanks to everyone that purchased stickers from us. We managed to raise $350 for Brett. So we took no money from those stickers. We outlaid the money for the stickers themselves, and 100% of sticker sales went to Brett. So we managed $350. So thanks heaps for that. Brett's really happy.
He'll be stickering his car up with a few of our Backyard Build stickers for the next variety run, which is coming up soon, I'm told.
Yeah, next couple of weeks.
So it'll be really good.
We'll put up a post on Instagram. Go and follow Brett, help the kids out. So thanks for your support, and we'll open up some boxes.
So we bought all this stuff from Speed Pro in Victoria. They're a distributor for Gazzard Bros, who are in Toowoomba, I believe. We have two boxes here. One's already open because it came like that through shipping. No fault of the Speed Pro.
The courier was worried about it too.
The courier was worried about it, which is nice. We have our split monoleaf rear suspension from Gazzard Bros. So we're going to put those together soon. That one in the burn box.
Really don't need the fire anymore.
Box number 2. Diff saddle perches, so they're going to look actually really nice. Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. These are the sliders for the rear, so these delete your conventional
shackle.
Shackle is the word I'm looking for, and they turn it into a slider. So there's actually a bearing on each side there, with a nicely made machined aluminium bush set up and all that, and they slide on that. What have we got in here? Oh yeah, so they're our chassis mounts. We were going to make these, but they offered them, so we just got these instead. They're a weld-on mount, so we can bolt our sliders on. Complimentary sticker for the toolbox.
We will need to bolt the rear sliders on, because if it's as low as we want it, it's going to be a pain to get the rear tyres off, because Valiants don't have very open wheel walls.
No, as Zach knows.
Ask me how I know. You right there, Tom?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
It's not like a whole turbo scenario. And there we have our traction bars, or Caltrax, however you want to call them. They all do virtually the same job. Adjustable heims, pretty decent sized heims, but it looks.
Yep.
Nice welding.
It's already got the shock mount in there.
Yep, so we just need a bolt for that. Comes with all the bolts too.
And we need some good shocks. So
probably look at the QA1s they offer, I'd say, because they're a multi-adjustable shock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really neat. So that's what we got, guys. Our next job is to get the rear diff out of that, and we've got one more surprise for you, which we'll show you once we get this turned around. So we've obviously just got the car up from stands. What our plan of attack is now is to get the old diff and leaf springs out and shocks out, all of that out. Gone, no more. Valiant's are pretty lucky that everything unbolts, so we can unbolt the rear hanger and the front hanger.
Yep.
And roll the whole lot out.
Pull the whole lot out. So yeah, I'm gonna get under there, get it done. Start to look at mounting our new suspension at the same time. So
yep, we actually got to we've got to inboard our leaves. So there's a chassis rail, and from factory the leaf is actually on the outside of the rail, so it actually passes through there. So if you want to put a big tyre on it, you're very limited. People run them underneath the rail. What we're going to do is we're actually going to inboard them completely, so inside the rail. It'll give us a heap of tyre size. We should be able to pick a decent brake, maybe a small notch in the rail just for the brake, but shouldn't be too much for drama.
yeah.
It will mean we'll have to make a custom fuel tank butt, so we'll have to notch our fuel tank to clear our rails and our runners and so on.
We have had a good chat to our engineer before we started this project.
Yeah.
Reasonably happy with doing it the way that was suggested. He wasn't overly happy with notching the front hanger into the rail,
which is an option that's available. Like it's an off-the-shelf kit that you cut a big notch out of the rail and weld this piece in, but
our engineer's not overly happy with it, but he's happy with a lot of the other stuff that we want to do. So it's a bit of a sacrifice on our side, but at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty close to a factory setup, just inboard. So
yep. So let's get under there and get it out.
Alrighty, so because the diff's out now, our next job is to actually widen the wheel tubs. This series is called Turbos and Tubs. Turbo bit's half done, so it's time to start the tubs bit. So, done a quick measurement. We're going to gain about 70 mil on the diff, on the tub width. I'm going to try and keep the standard tubs and just add a strip into them. So the plan is to cut them in here and delete some of this rib. So we'll just beat the rib over to replicate what is already there, and then the joint will be in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the tub. So we've just got some 25mm tape. We're going to run the tape over the top of the tub. Gives us a 25mm lip to hammer and dolly. I know the wheel tubs look pretty big, but we're going to try and beat them a little bit straighter. The driver's side obviously never took a hit in its life. It's pretty good compared to the passenger side, but yeah, we'll run the tape, give us a guide. That'll give us 25mm, plenty of hammer and dolly. We'll probably run center of this, so about 15mm, and then we'll just lay it over the top, mark out where we're going to cut in there.
Is that on time lapse or cinematic?
Hold on.
Yeah. Pocket square. Whoa, what is that? Rubbish.
Oh, looks like a servo pie.
Mrs. Max. So that's one side out. We're going to replicate it on the other side now. Or do we want to cut the rest of this out? I don't know. Alright, so we've obviously got the tub out. So what I'm going to do now is measure from where the original tub was to the inside edge of our chassis rail. I want that measurement so I can then mark this out here on the top. I actually want to cut away this tray floor first. I'm then going to mark it on the underside of the fill piece that's in there between the tub and the rail. I'm then going to cut it out as square as possible. So when we put our new piece back in, it's nice and pretty, easy for us to weld. There's no weird angles and stuff. So yeah, we have at the top, 65, just a little bit more at the back. I think what we're going to go is we're going to go with the shorter measurement that's what we've got here, which is about 63. Play it safe because it's easier to cut more out later, and go from there. So I'm going to get this marked out now. So we've cut the tub out, we've marked it out, we've actually cut it out, but we didn't actually realise at the time was we made a little mistake. But
we or you?
Yeah, it was me. But because the sun shines out my arse on occasion, it actually is still perfect.
Yeah, it worked out really good actually.
So we left this extra 25mm on our tub, so we picked up 25mm. When I marked it out, I marked out off here 65mm, which is what we have on the underside of the rail, which gives us 90mm from here. You know, if you do your math at home, 65 and 25 is 90.
Is it?
I fucking hope so. So it'll actually work just as I planned. Just keeping all you viewers on your toes, making sure you're paying attention.
So what's the plan now?
Plan now is to mark 65mm out from this edge in here, because we know our rail sits under there. We're going to mark that 65mm out, cut all that out, cut all this extra bit of the original tub out. We may reuse some of this and bring it in, we don't know yet. And then we might get, do we have that mock-up wheel with us, Zach?
We have a couple mock-up wheels, Tom.
Okay. We might get a tyre out and...
I don't think they're actually even mock-up wheels, Tom. I think they're what we're actually going to run.
Well, the viewer doesn't know that yet.
Oh. Surprise.
But we'll get our wheel in there and we'll sit it up there. We'll get it roughly to the ride height we would like. We may need to adjust that and probably have a bit of a sacrifice there. We want it low, but we also don't want it too low because we want a bit of suspension travel for taking off the lights, etc. Blah blah blah.
Also, don't want those shiny powder-coated traction bars to hit every speed hump we go over.
Yeah, we do want to make it street legal, the car still. So yeah, there'll be a bit of sacrifice in our height to our rail. Like I said, there may be like a small notch in the rail just to get a bump stop in there, but
we're trying to modify the rail as less as possible.
Yeah, the less we can do to that, the better. So let's mark this out now properly, cut the rest of it out, and we'll get into it. And then we'll do the other side properly. Alright, so we've cut our tubs out. Zach actually managed to get his tub out in more than one, or in pretty much one piece, whereas mine is going to be 2 pieces, but that's fine. We've actually set our wheels in there, we've measured them, we've centered them as per factory, or as close to factory position as we can. They've got clearance front and rear, or side to side, sorry. And we've measured for our diff. So we're running that AU Falcon diff in the rear of this. Gives us a disc brake rear. We have measured this from inside face to inside face at 1290. So it's pretty short, not tiny, but it's about 200mm shorter than factory. So next episode, or this episode, I'm not sure how the editing will go, but we will get into cutting that diff down. We're going to get some funky sleeves made up, because I ordered our purchase to suit a 3-inch tube at a guess. Our diff tube is probably 2.75 inches, 2 3/4, about there. So we actually need a little bit more meat in there to get that to locate nice. We actually have a bit of 3-inch tube and it fits perfect. So credit to Gazzard Bros on those.
once we've done that, we'll actually be able to get under the car with our leaves, which I've assembled over here. And we'll start actually mocking them up. We've actually got to make brackets because, like we'll talking about, we're going to inboard our leaves. So we're going to make some new 6mm gussets and a mounting plate up the front to take our leaf. And there'll probably be something similar going on at the rear. What also we've done today is we actually dropped the fuel tank out because we're running our leaves inboard of the chassis rail. The tank in these sits in there. We're left with not a lot of room in there, so we need to get our slider up in there. We actually need to be able to remove the bolt fully. That's probably our main concern. So if we ever need to take it out of the car, we can do it.
Chances are high to get the rear tyres off it.
Yeah. So we've got to be able to get those bolts out. So we're going to make a fuel cell for this. I don't know if we've spoken about that previously, but it's getting a fuel cell now. Nice, a lot of baffles in it. An electric fuel pump. Maybe in tank as well. But that's another episode in itself. We're just going to concentrate on getting this done now.
Because we need to get it back rolling again so we can move it in Tom's shed.
Yeah, it's currently just sitting on jack stands, which is actually really close to our ride height, probably almost at ride height,
yeah.
Which is how you want to set up a car suspension. So
we've also allowed for some travel in the sliders too, so
yeah.
Wheels are forward a little bit in the hole, but
yeah. So the way the slider travels is not actually, it doesn't rock like your conventional shackle leaf. So it asks for us to set them up at there. It actually has it set on the top, which is really convenient. So when it actually loads up, it's probably going to pull forward and then it's going to slam back. We hope it doesn't slam too hard, but that's how they work. They're actually labelled to the front, so when they're under the car, they sit like that. That pretty much covers us for today. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time. And
we said we're going to watch on the wheels.
Oh.
You want to show on the wheels?
Yeah, it'll be like an encore for the episode.
Nah, do it next episode.
Next episode?
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
See you later, guys.
You reckon show on the wheels?
Better go on film, show on the wheels.
Yeah, right. Alright, so these are what we got. They are Rocket Racing bear claws, I suppose you'd call them.
I think that's what the boss said, yeah, bear claws.
Yeah, we've actually got, the front ones aren't on yet because we haven't actually gotten tyres, but we've got a set of 12 spokes for the front, which should look pretty neat. They look pretty close to a charger wheel from the side with a bit of dish in it, so pretty cool. Actually. Yeah.
We'll also have a set of stockies to run on it as well, so we can change up its look.
Stockies and hubcaps.
Oh yeah, always got to have a hubcap.
Alright, thanks for watching, guys.